This is where we come from, yeah, we did it. City on my back, I'm committed. This is where we come from, yeah, we made it. Now the whole team celebrating. We like, Don't mistake the new me for the old me. They can't stop me now, I'm with the home team. No beginner, I'm a winner. Took a couple losses, now I'm cooking, let me simmer. Yeah, tunnel vision, all I see is win, 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 win. This my city section where you been. We move faster alone, but go further together. We can weather any weather forever. A dream team, I done seen things. Confidence is on 100,000. I got family for miles, running up the mileage. Made it through some trials and some tribulations. Now me and the team out here celebrating, yeah. This is where we come from, yeah, we did it. City on my back, I'm committed. This is where we come from, yeah, we made it. Now the whole team celebrating. We like, Forget the things you probably thought you knew. A new day is approaching, turn the gray skies into blue. I grew up on these same blocks, school of hard knocks. Had to get it on a hard top, took the hard shots, but we made it. Anticipated, highly decorated. The home team is winning, celebrated. The victory is all mine, and everything is alright. And you know how to see things, confidence is on 100,000. I got family for miles, running up the mileage. Made it through some trials and some tribulations. Now me and the team out here celebrating, yeah. This is where we come from, yeah, we did it. City on my back, I'm committed. This is where we come from, yeah, we made it. Now the whole team celebrating. We like,
All right, what's up, everybody? Welcome to Spike Kool-Aid for Wednesday, August the 8th. Let me do an audio check real quick, make sure we are good to go. Hope everybody is having a great day so far. Let me see. Mic check, mic check. Mic check, mic check. All right, there we go. We are back. What's up, everybody in the chat? We got Eric. What's up, nephew? We got Braylon. Danny V. What up, though? Nathan Mack, what up, what up? What's up, DV? What's going on, man? Man, okay, I told y'all, man, we are back. We are 100% back. The time, I wish I could buckle down on the time, but I really can't at this moment. Just know that it will happen probably no later than 4. 4 is a little late for me, but, you know, I got the kid, a lot of stuff going on in the family. Football is coming back around. You guys know I have multiple different channels. But we are going to get into some things today. We did do a Broderick Martin video that did over 1,000 views. So it's good to be back in the algorithm. According to some people who know the move, I asked, what move did Broderick Martin do? Somebody said it was called a corkscrew, but he only did half the move. Also, his job was to stop the run. And I guess if you stop the run by falling on the ground, you did your job. So, yeah, but we'll see how that turns out. So, training camp resumed today, and I was unable to make it again. I have one more ticket left. That will happen by all means necessary because that is a joint practice that happens in 8 days, which is the 14th. We do have a game against the Atlanta Falcons on Friday at 7 p.m. We will be live over on Lion Syndicate at 6. We'll do our pregame. We'll probably get on as well about, okay, so what time do we get on? 6? So maybe about 4. We'll do like a pregame tailgate. We're going to do all of that. The preseason games, as of right now, I'm not going to any. I don't know if I'm going to any Lions home games, to be honest with you, because I'm feeling some type of way about the ticket prices. And knowing that I was 2 days off from becoming a season ticket holder kind of grinds my gears a little bit. So I'm going to put all my effort into the away games. I love the away games, from driving to passing people on the freeway to stopping at a rest stop with my Lions gear on, from checking into the hotel. The whole experience is And you know what I'm thinking about too? I'm actually thinking about taking the ferry. I know it costs a little bit, but I'm also thinking, hold on 1 second. What the heck? Wow. That's crazy. Hold on. What in the actual... Be right, hold on. Yo. Yo. Wow. That's crazy. I had to, I always tell myself to put on pants. Make sure you put on pants for the show. Okay. I don't know. For some reason, when I have these on, the light won't adjust. I have to take them off. I had a spider, man. It was coming down from the ceiling. And that fool was, anyway. So I will be going to the road games, but the ferry, I'm probably going to take the ferry because I'm thinking like, that'd be, it's costly, but it'd be an experience to be on the ferry. I've never been on like a car ferry before. The only close ferry I've been on is like the Bobolo boat. If you guys remember Bobolo, however you used to say it. So, but I'm not expecting to go into any games. So that means that we're going to do all the preseason games. I'm working on bringing in the sound right now. I don't know if I'll be able to do it because my soundboard is not communicating with the device. So I'm going to try to figure that out. Eric says, I'm hearing nothing but good things about Kenneth Cooper. Yeah, that's what they say. What's up, K-Dub? What's going on? Ndamukong Suh is at training camp. I'm going to Tampa Bay and Chicago home games. That's what's up, B. The Bucks got Teddy Bridgewater, so we might get Carson. I did see that. Broderick Martin showed up in the basement. Chitty, chitty, bang, bang. I was gifted tickets to the Dolphins game next weekend. In club seats. I'm pumped. Hey, Kiera, that's what's up. Yeah, the cheapest tickets I saw was $52, and I usually like to take my son, or my sons, I should say. I usually like to take them. And for us three to go, after you do fees, food, and all that stuff, and parking, you're probably looking at $400. So I do have two tickets. I'm thinking if they offer me a third ticket and the price is not that much different, I might take it. And then what I would do is maybe, I don't know, like maybe gift to some subscribers every game. And of course I would sell some, you know what I'm saying? So we'll do that. I'm going to the Dolphins preseason home games. That's what's up. Is anybody going to camp the days remaining? It's not that many days remaining. So I guess let's talk about it. So I made a video the other day, and I want the comment section to get involved in this, is the backup quarterback situation. I made a video about Bryce Perkins, released that video yesterday about the Detroit Lions should bring him in for a potential workout, because I don't think at this point you could, it would hurt. Some people are mentioning Shedeur Sanders. I don't think that's an option. I myself would rather have a NFL-ready quarterback. Now, if you're talking about like succeeding Jared Goff, that's a different conversation. I wouldn't go as far as to say that Shedeur Sanders is that guy either. I don't think Hendon Hooker is that guy. I don't think that guy is on our team. Jared's going to be our quarterback for the next 4 years at least, in my opinion. And depending on how he plays at 30, he's only 30 years old. Matthew Stafford is like 37 and he's still balling, right? Even with the fracture in his back, he still is going to play. So we could have Jared for another contract extension. I know you guys might not want to hear that, but we could have Jared for a little while. So my thing is, we talked about Bryce Perkins. Is there a possibility that the Detroit Lions bring in someone else? Teddy Bridgewater unfortunately signed with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I'm wondering why he did that. I think it has something to do with him staying in Florida, because he was already in Florida. So I think him signing with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers had something to do with that. His family is probably in Florida. He's still close to the kids, and his life is currently there. I would have loved to see him back in Detroit, but I don't think that is going, obviously it's not going to happen. But what would you like to see? Now, we looked at the quarterback list. It's not a lot of people. There are some people who could get cut from camp. Tyler Huntley, he wind up signing with a team as well. So he's unavailable. There's not a ton of people available. It's only about 5 or 6. Now that Huntley is gone, it's less than that. Teddy Bridgewater, less than, it's only about 4 now. And one of the names is Carson Wentz. Now, I myself, right now, I would prefer Carson Wentz over both Kyle Allen and Hendon Hooker. Hendon Hooker is not going to get any better. Is Carson as good as Goff? No. Is he better to me than Hendon and Kyle? Yes. So what I want to hear from you guys is, who would you like to see? Is there somebody on another team that could possibly be cut that you would like to see? I'm hearing a lot of different names, and I'm like, okay, none of them can be rookies. We cannot have a rookie backing up Jared Goff. Do you think a rookie, unless that rookie's name is Jaden Daniels, like outside of that, who are you going to have come in and be able to lead your team to multiple wins? I am sick that we lost out on Teddy, but at this point, I would definitely take Carson Wentz. Raw Detroit in the building says he definitely wanted to be closer to Florida. I agree. Kiera says, I'd for sure look into the UFL, a minimum for a backup QB workout. At this point, Matt Corral or Perkins available to come in. You know what? Yeah, Corral, I thought about him. I don't know. Matt Corral hasn't been in the league in at least a full season, right? I can say this. And this is why I would lean toward Carson Wentz. I know we're not very fond of him, but we're talking about a guy that could come in and lead us to at least a win. I think Carson could do that. If you look at Carson, where he came from, he obviously was drafted right after Jared Goff, so they got probably some old rapport from there. Then they could grow as number 1 and number 2. I think being around Dan Campbell, Carson or Jared Goff, that Carson would be a better quarterback. I also think if you look at Carson, last couple of teams, Rams, right? Washington Commanders, the Kansas City Chiefs most recently. So I think that he could bring a lot because what I'm looking for, y'all, is veteran experience with the capability of winning games. Is Bryce Perkins that guy? Because don't forget that they traded for Baker Mayfield when they had Bryce Perkins. So I'm not opposed to Bryce coming in for a workout. Would I be comfortable with Bryce Perkins as a number 2? I don't know. Myself, I would feel more comfortable with Carson Wentz at this point. But I feel like the Detroit Lions are not even going to look at. I think the preseason game coming up is going to tell a lot. And I think depending on how Hendon does or Allen does, I think the Detroit Lions are going to have to look in the direction of Carson Wentz. People mentioned Ryan Tannehill. Ryan Tannehill is not coming. He did not play at a single snap last year. His arrogance is most likely keeping him out of the NFL. He wanted to be a contender, to go to a contender. He also wanted to compete for a starting job. And unless he humbles himself, he's not going to. I would take him as well over the 2 that we have. But I'm just not comfortable with the 2 that we have on our roster. This is no knock against Hendon Hooker. This is all about the ability to lead us to a win. Eric, nephew says, what about Ryan Tannehill? Absolutely. Raw Detroit says, we need Hendon Hooker to get better. I'm rooting for Hooker to get back on track. You know what, Raw? He got to play, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, he has to play. And if like Shedeur Sanders, he's playing the entire preseason game. That's what Hendon needs to do. I don't like this whole flip-flop. If what you could have done is you could have this is what I would have done. I would have done it where I give them halves, right? And then the better quarterback going into games, since we got a bonus game, the better quarterback going into game 3 and 4, they get the start. You know what I'm saying? That's how it would be. This whole flip-flop, and I feel like Dan Campbell, he's going to keep doing this. He's going to give Kyle some time. If it were me, I probably would give it all to Hendon. The games don't mean anything, right? You know that if you're that confident in Hendon and Kyle, you know one of them is going to be on the roster. If you have that much faith in Hendon, why don't you let him start? The Cleveland Browns are giving Shedeur Sanders an entire game. I don't like the way that we do that. Says, let's be real, Grid. Hendon Hooker only got 6 pass attempts. You can do nothing with that. That's exactly right, Raw. That's exactly right, man. And he's not going to get any better if they don't allow him to play. And they got to do that. This whole half thing. And then you schemed up 6 throws. You know what I'm saying? And his interception wasn't really that bad. He got the ball ripped straight from Dominic. I cannot say his name for whatever reason. Tannehill is pretty decent career too. Yep, Hooker needs opportunity and reps. Absolutely. Anybody but Nate Sudfeld, I agree. Sign Wentz and cut Allen. That's what I would do. So let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. Do you feel comfortable with who we have already, or would you like to see some competition? And if so, who? It can be anybody. There are no wrong answers. It's the Lions' fault. Hooker not developing. Give him the majority of the reps. Get a true evaluation. I agree. And you know what, Raw? It would be nice if the UFL is struggling, right? If the UFL, as a matter of fact, let's do this. Should the NFL and the UFL, or whatever it's going to be called, I think it's going to be UFL, it's still UFL. Should the NFL and UFL, should they come together and form an official partnership to develop NFL players or drafted players? I know it's an injury risk, but every other league has it. Hockey has it. Basketball has it. Baseball has it. Football is the only one that doesn't have it. Football is the sport that you will get lost immediately. We've got a couple guys on our team, Broderick Martin, Hendon Hooker, right? You could send somebody down. And what they could do is they could have the league could funnel some money into the UFL. Get a partnership. I mean, here it is that they just sold NFL Network to ESPN. And then ESPN, I think, I can't remember if it's that, somebody tell me in the comment section, is did ESPN get 10% in the NFL or vice versa? But how fitting, how helpful would it be if the NFL and the spring football league was a thing? Even Dan Campbell backed up the spring football league. He said that these guys who come from this league, they come in NFL shape. There's no downtime. There's no getting in shape. They're already in shape. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of them, we got our kicker from the Michigan Panthers. Because you're not going to have guys like Broderick Martin. As much as I criticize him, I criticize the pick. I criticize the trade up. I don't criticize him necessarily as a player because he didn't control where he got drafted. But at the same time, he'll never amount to anything. You cannot get better if you don't practice. So it would be nice if the NFL, and just think about this, the NFL wouldn't have to put a bunch of money into the UFL. It really wouldn't. I mean, right now, it doesn't seem like the NFL wants any football as a threat. They see all football as a threat. And let's be real, the UFL will never amount to what the NFL will be, right? It'll never happen. So why not give players, because what's going to happen anyway, and this is why it makes perfect sense, what's going to happen anyway is NFL players who flame out of the NFL, where they going to go? They're going to go to the UFL. The NFL had a European league, and that lasted for T-minus. And I think a developmental league is going to come eventually. But if they could, the UFL is going on year 3, right? Invest a little money in it, some type of partnership, whether it's ads or something. And I would have it where you could take players from certain regions. You wouldn't even have to be in the same region. But let's say there are, I don't know, a handful of 10 UFL teams, and you send Hendon Hooker, then you've got a rookie from the Patriots or a rookie, undrafted free agent from the Dolphins, and they all play on one team. You're only going to get better if you get to play. Practice is not playing an NFL game, and at least they'll have some type of game play under their belt. Brennan says, I agree 100%. Denny V says they just need to make it official, the official farm league. I agree. I agree. So my thing is, where are you going to, if you draft these players and we got Hendon Hooker on the team, he's not going to get a chance under Jared Goff. Because if Jared Goff, God forbid, he goes down, Hendon Hooker is not going to lead us anywhere. It's just not going to happen. He's not going to take us to a Super Bowl or anything like that, right? That's not a knock on him. He just doesn't have it. So what's going to happen is these players are going to sit, their skill set is not going to improve, and then they're going to wind up in the UFL or Canadian League or arena football. Like, that's what's going to happen. And it would just be nice if they had that. You know what I'm saying? Of course, injury is a concern, but that's all the time. What would you rather do? Would you rather sit behind someone and never play? Or would you rather get a chance, play, hone your skills? And then look at what happens. Then they showcase their skills. They work their way back to the NFL, and we've seen it. Our kicker is one of the guys. You know what I'm saying? I mean, look at Matt Corral and There's a lot of guys that have been sent down there. Breland Speaks is one of them, former first-round pick. So I don't know, man. That's just what I would do. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. What's up, Tail? What's up, man? Says, I'm praying every drive for golf in all seriousness. What's up, Detroit Sports? Today is your birthday. Well, congratulations, man. How old are you? How old are you this wonderful August the 6th? It's crazy, crazy, crazy. Yep. I got, this is probably too much information, but so pretty much every girl that, my wife obviously knows this. Every girl I've ever dated has been born in August, which is crazy. That's crazy, man. All of my relationships, the woman has pretty much been born in August. Remember what happened to Malik Willis with the Packers? Titans didn't work for him. Willis is now balling on the Packers. You know what, Raw? That's true, man. But here's the thing, though. Hooker, where's the opportunity going to come from, right? Where's the opportunity? I thought the same thing. Malik Willis. I mean, wouldn't that be a trip if he wound up on this team somehow? That would be something. How soon will we draft another quarterback? That is a great question. That's a great question. Okay, you know what? Let me pull up. Y'all got any questions? You can put them in the comment section. Let me pull up Jared Goff's score. Okay. That's a good question. Don't put the answer in the comment section yet. Don't put your thoughts in the comment section. Wow. You know what, man? I have not thought about that. Right now, I'm just focused on a Super Bowl. That's a great question. Huh. Let's see. Which one do y'all prefer? Over the cap or Spot Track? I don't know. I like Spot Track, but sometimes Over the Cap is better, or they have better things. It's like Brad got a fetish for cornerbacks. Yeah, man. He done brought in some more, right? I think Detroit is officially America's team. I'm stationed in Virginia, and I've run into people who aren't fans but enjoy watching the Lions and want them to win the Super Bowl. You know what, man? I could believe that. And when they do, man, the content going to be crazy. Every content creator is going to explode. I'm not ready to give up on Hooker yet. He needs opportunity and true development. You know, Raw, I don't think the Lions are ready either, but here it is that you're going into year 3, right? So what do you do? If you're Detroit, what do? You're not going to put him in during the season. Dan Campbell is outside of preseason. How can you develop him? You know what I mean? Like, unless the Lions got a blowout and you put him in, but then you only get a quarter. So I would love for him to develop as well. That's why I'm like pro developmental league. Oh, during the preseason, absolutely. Absolutely. I don't like that they don't do that now. I don't like that they don't do that now. Okay, let's do this. Somebody put in the comment section a great question, one we haven't talked about in several years. I mean, the first couple of years, all you heard was Jared Goff is not going to be our quarterback. He's a bridge guy. Even Lions fans were saying this. And then he bought out of control, took us to the NFC Championship game, got a historic contract, one of the first ones, honestly, that was not a Brad Holmes draft pick. Brad Holmes draft pick. There it is. Wow. All right. So, but that's the beauty. That's how you can tell I'm not AI, right? So somebody in the comment section asked, how long before the Detroit Lions draft a quarterback? And this is something we have not talked about in quite some time. So we're going to have that discussion today, just kind of early on. Now, let's take a look at what Jared Goff's contract looks like. We know he just got that deal. So he officially ended his trade contract here. He officially ended it. This is the new money. The new money starts this season. So theoretically, he is under contract for another 4 seasons. It's going to take him to he's 34 years old. Jared Goff, if you watch quarterback, he said he think he's just now entering his prime. So let's consider his prime being this current contract. All right. So we know he's on. The Lions really don't have a potential out for the next 3 years. So if you're the Detroit Lions, knowing where we are, knowing what our team still needs, assuming we don't win the Super Bowl in 2025, And, Brad never drafts for need anyway. He always takes BPA, so it really won't matter. But he has yet to draft a quarterback past the third round. As a matter of fact, somebody put it in the comment section. How many quarterbacks has Brad Holmes drafted? I'm going to say one, right? Now, Matt Patricia, he drafted quite a few of them, I believe. And all the regimes before Brad and Dan, they've drafted quarterbacks. Brad Kaya. How many quarterbacks has Brad Holmes drafted? It's only been one, which is Hendon Hooker. And that was in the third round. And that was only because he was hurt. Otherwise, he was supposed to be a first-round pick. So, assuming we're here, Jared Goff's new money, with the Detroit Lions having a potential out after basically the next 3 seasons, when could the Detroit Lions realistically draft a quarterback that will take over for Jared Goff potentially? Now, I think that Hendon Hooker was supposed to be him, but Jared Goff balled out of control, which pushed that narrative down. That's what I think. They extended Jared Goff. There was no reason to panic, so they signed him. Now, Hooker became expendable. As sad as that is to say. When could the Detroit Lions draft a quarterback? Put it in the comment section. What do you guys think? I'm going to say a quarterback capable of taking over for Jared Goff. If you look at the Jordan Love type scenario, developmental scenario, I'm going to say it could be as early as next year. But I don't think it's going to be next year. I think it's going to be in the 2027 draft. I think it's going to be there because if you take a guy next year in the 2026 draft, Jared Goff got 2 years on his contract, right? But you're still trying to win a Super Bowl. So if you're going to take a quarterback that takes over for JG, that means that your team is set. You got your edge rusher, you got your cornerbacks, you got your linebacker, you got your offensive lineman, you got your defensive lineman, you got your linebackers, you got everybody you need. And because right now, a quarterback is a luxury piece. It's a luxury piece to draft a quarterback capable of taking over for Jared Goff. Now, let's say that quarterback is no later than the third round. Are you really? Most times, you're going to take a quarterback in the first round that's going to succeed after your quarterback. If we look at the third round quarterbacks, Hendon Hooker, Will Levis, right? Malik Willis. So these are developmental guys, but they did come out of college with starter potential, right? So I don't know. So I'm going to say that it is realistically in 2027. I think that Brad has more pressing things. We've got more pressing things than to draft a quarterback. But that is a great question. And I'm going to tell you what, Brad Holmes, he drafted a quarterback early and we still need a defensive end. We going to have a problem. But Brad seems to be, again, Hendon Hooker was the only quarterback in 5 drafts now that Brad Holmes has taken. That tells you how much faith he has in Jared Goff. But if I had to pick, I'm going to say that we draft a quarterback as early as 2026, but more realistically 2027, especially where we'll be picking as well. We got to come across a guy like Lamar Jackson or Teddy Bridgewater. Both came out, both were 32nd overall. And if we're supposed to be as good as we're going to be, that means that it's probably going to be a late round pick. Then you got to start thinking about trading up to get that guy. Are we in a position to trade up to get a luxury pick? Because think about it. A quarterback will be a luxury pick for the next 3 years, honestly. Right? We're trying to win Super Bowls. And a first-round talent quarterback is not necessarily going to help us do that. Goff showed who he can be last year. Now it's just a matter, can he continue that going forward? So I think we could see one next year, especially if we win a Super Bowl. Now, if we win a Super Bowl, a lot of things could change. Now we done got that monkey off our back. Maybe we do spend a luxury pick, a first-round pick on a quarterback, and the whole internet goes crazy, right? I don't think Brad does that, but we shall see. But I'm interested to know what your comments are below. All right, let me see what y'all saying. Okay, 1, Browns got a dictionary full of backups. That's true. Okay, if you could take a backup quarterback from the Browns, who would you take? Didn't one of their guys you got Flacco, Sanders. Then they took, didn't they? Who else did they got over there? Chat GPT right now. All signs point to mutual interest, and the Lions clearly need veteran depth edge. Okay, so we're talking about Zadarius Smith. Kiera says, my question on Hooker, how much is he leading in the learn from golf? I think Jordan Love was sitting behind Rodgers. He seemed to be crowned early solely because he was getting that knowledge. Yeah. You know what, Kiera? I don't know. Because think about it. The only reason, in my opinion, Hendon Hooker is a Lion is because he was hurt. That's it. That if he wasn't hurt, there was no way the Lions were going to be able to get him. You know what I'm saying? So I think that he's only a Lion because he was hurt. That's just what I think. Dang, we've been on for 30 minutes already? That's crazy. Okay, Studio says, I wouldn't draft another QB for 3 years. I think we draft a QB. If God gets hurt, we are toast. Yeah, okay, you know what? Let's have some fun. Off the top of y'all head. And I know this is a difficult question because y'all probably not going to know this without looking it up. Who right now, what starter right now could get hurt and you would be like super confident in their team? And that's a deep question because we don't really know, the backup situation on a lot of teams. Is Hooker gaining anything or boxing himself into his own play style from college? That's a great question. I don't see the future with Hooker. I don't expect Hooker to take Goff's spot at all, but let him get a chance at QB2. We already now need a QB2. All right, Pickett, Watson, Flacco, Sanders. They traded for Huntley, TA? Are you serious? I knew they had 4. Wait a minute. The Browns have Watson. Okay, he's toast this year. Dylan Gabriel. That's not the guy that broke his hand, right? Kenny Pickett, who is semi-hurt right now. They said that Flacco was leading to take over the starting. And Shador and Tyler? Holy smokes. I saw, somebody tell me if they saw this. Did you guys see that the Browns are carrying 4 quarterbacks? Did y'all see that? Because I'll be seeing stuff as I'm waking up, and I don't know if I'm reading it correctly. Flacco called himself elite, then won a Super Bowl, then won the Super Bowl in the same season. Wow. Okay, that was the guy on the Giants. Braylon says, I'm taking Flacco. Okay, Browns are carrying, Watson, Gabriel, Pickett, Flacco, Sanders, Huntley. That would be 6. So who's missing from there? That's crazy. That is crazy, man. Wow. I mean, the only one on there, obviously, that you could realistically take, Kenny Pickett. Would y'all take Kenny Pickett? Would y'all? I don't know. So this is why Huntley on the Browns. So they're gonna keep Flacco and Shador, I bet. So you think the 3 of them go? You think Pickett, Gabriel, Dylan Gabriel, right? And you think they go? That's crazy. That is crazy. All right. Yo, give me a brief second. I will be right back. Yeah, I had to pee, y'all. I had to pee. All right, we are back. Okay, this is why Dylan will go on a practice squad. Kenny Pickett, Gabriel are hurt, so this is why they got Huntley, picked up another. Watson is still on the books, but not playing. What's up, Stat? That's crazy. Okay, so, but Will Levis is done, right? He's done for the season. Will Levis is done for the season. That'd be crazy. Yeah, because he's done. He's done for the season. All right. So let's switch conversations real quick. I don't know. I don't think the number 2 is on our team, though. I definitely don't think the number 2 quarterback is on our team. It'd be some weird people following you on Twitter, man. And then you'll get a follow request, and then some weird person to be in your DMs, man, asking you about crypto or something like that. It's weird. Yeah. Yeah. Hey, Danny, he done for the season, bro. He done for the season. Okay. All righty. Let me see if I can find this tweet so I can bring it in. So, yeah, y'all, we are going full throttle this season. We got a lot of stuff happening, man. Oh, I wanted to tell you guys. I guess now is as good as time as any because it's official. All right, we got somebody joining the team. Before I tell you who it is, I'll give you guys three guesses to put in the comment section. Who do you think is joining the team? It's a he, and he makes content already. While we're doing that, let me pull up what I want to talk about. I thought I saved it. Okay, T says Spirit of Detroit. Eric, you know what, man? I haven't even talked to the Pistons dude. That's cool. Hey, he gonna love to hear that y'all think it was him. No, it's not him as of right now. That could be a thing. So you might, and I know this is gonna bring a lot of questions. And I'm gonna tell you, like I told him, anybody ask me, I'm telling everything. Okay, you might know him. T, you stupid. You might know him as formerly known as Chef. Motor City Cats will be joining the team. He will be hosting a show on Fridays. So I'm still in touch. I haven't talked to Nick in a while, so I hope he's doing okay. I need to reach out to him, but he will be doing a show on Fridays. And yeah, Answer, you are correct. So now I just put that out there. I'll put that out there, man. So that'd be the case. All right, so I saw Brad Holmes on 97 won the ticket, and we'll just go straight into this. Everybody knows that the Detroit Lions still need a pass rusher, and no matter how you cook it, we still need one. Marcus Davenport is unreliable. We know what he can be if he's on the field. We haven't seen it ever as a Detroit Lion, and he's coming off 2 season-ending surgeries. We drafted a guy in the 6th round, got all the motor, all the potential in the world. To me, needs to develop, is raw, but he's got potential. Could be the next big thing. He's got all the makings of somebody that could get a fat payday in their second contract. But we're not there yet. But where we are is waiting on the Detroit Lions and Zadarius Smith to reconnect. Brad Holmes was on Interview by 97 won the ticket, and they are at camp. I don't know if they're camp, like one of the shows are at camp, and they actually interviewed him with the grainy footage and everything. And he talked about Zadarius Smith. Now, I'll probably make a video about this on Lion Syndicate where I bring in the actual clip of the interview, but he claimed that him and Zadarius' team are still in contract, and it basically takes 2 to tango. he also alluded to it could be that Zadarius just wants to not report to camp, and maybe that there's been some dialogue about that. So my question is, and it would really be more if you could hear the interview, if I was bringing in the interview. But the question that I have for you guys is, do you think Zadarius Smith is going to return to Detroit? I don't know. At this point, I would love it if Zadarius Smith came to Detroit. Then you would have to assume that he's going to back up Hutch and Davenport. He's going to be a backup player until that Davenport goes down, if that happens. So do you think that it's going to happen? Brad Holmes need to stop playing games and sign Zadarius now. Now he's going to sign 6 more QBs. Whole defense is going to be CBs. I don't know. I'm on the fence. I would love to see Zadarius back in Honolulu Blue. I would love to see him and Hutch on the field at the same time. But Brad is so you can't really tell what's happening. To me, it sounds like there is some truth to Zadarius not wanting to report to camp, but there's also, it seems like that they're not at the same place, because in that same interview, Brad Holmes mentioned being on the same page, so to speak, being at the same place, and that they're trying to get there. Like they're not there. And I don't think that that's about camp. I think it's about money. Now, Matthew Judon is out there. According to Spot Track, his market value is about 3.9, I believe it is. You could sign him to a 2-year deal for almost $4 million a year. That is significantly cheaper than the 1-year deal you're going to get from Zadarius. So I would love to sign Zadarius to a multi-year deal, because Marcus Davenport is only under a 1-year deal. And I saw an article, I'm going to see if I can find it, about a particular player who plays on the defensive line that could be a surprise cut. So I don't know how I feel about, of course I want him back because I want to see what happens, but I just don't know if that's going to happen. I think it's a respect thing, says Nephew. I think Zadarius felt disrespected, so he's just being petty with Brad. StatPass says, give it a go with those two, and both are fast off the edge. I think you're right, man. I think that you are right, because from a person that's part of the family actually contacted me a couple months ago and told me that's exactly what it was. That once they paid Davenport, that created a kind of a rift, because Davenport was not deserving to be re-signed, at least not before Zadarius Smith. So I think it's all about it. And that's men. I mean, the ladies know too, but men are really high on respect. Respect can go a long way. And I would feel disrespected too. But I made a video saying exactly that. I made a video saying that it was probably disrespect before I even found out it was. So Zadarius, whether or not he comes back to the Detroit Lions, I think he is trying to avoid training camp for the most part. And if he does come back to Detroit, that'll be great, because he already knows pretty much, he's a vet, been in the league for 10 plus years. So him adapting to Kelvin Shepard, his new scheme wouldn't be a big deal. You've been on the Browns, the Vikings, the Packers, the Ravens. So you've been around the league. So it wouldn't be hard for him to adjust to whatever Kelvin is going to throw his way. Why does he care what another man get? Okay, Ken. Let's say that's I don't know where that question is coming from. It's not okay. So let me ask you this. Comment section. You're at your job, right? And you get, okay, let me paint the picture for you and put it in the comment section below. All right, let me see if I can off the dome metaphor this thing. You are a great worker. But you work at another office. Your boss comes and tells you that you have to relocate. You got to go to this store over here because this same company, but the store is struggling. So we're going to send you to this store because they're down and you're the best at what you do. You're available. I'm going to send you to the store. You go to the new store, right? The employee that you're replacing, they call in sick all the time. They never at work. And when they show, they barely put forth any effort, right? So then at that new store, your sales is crazy. You putting in mad work. You second best in the whole team. The whole store, you second best. And then they come around, the boss that asked you to come over there, that put in a request for your talents, tells you, you know what? You making a little too much money. You're doing a great job, but you're making too much money. So we got to let you go. But what we're going to do is the person that put us in the hole in the first place, we're going to ask them to come back because they cost less money. But you're the better employee, but they cost more money. We got to let you go. We knew how much you cost when we brought you over here. So he not worried about what another man get. He's saying, think about his perspective. And tell me in the comment section how you would feel if this were you. You are traded for knowing what your contract is, that you had another year and how much that other year was going to cost. You came in, you actually produced for the team that traded for you, knowing what your contract was. And what they do is they prioritize signing the dude that got hurt and cutting you for him. I don't know why that's so difficult. I don't know if that's so, you know what I'm saying? Let me know if that makes sense. So it's not that Zadarius is worried about what another man get. He's looking at from the respect issue. There was no conversations had. There was, I mean, you claim that it's a business and that Z understands it, but not so you didn't cut him, ask him to restructure, bring him back. You cut him and signed a guy that didn't even play last season, barely played. So if I'm, like I said in the video that I made many, many months ago, if I'm Zadarius Smith, I'm not coming back here unless it meets all of my needs. That's the only way I step foot. Not after you cut me. You traded for me. You cut me. Wait, you traded for me. I ball out. I get 4 sacks. Zadarius Smith led the team in sacks after the trade deadline. And you cut him for a dude that played 2 games. You wouldn't be mad at that? Let me know your thoughts, man. Ken says, I only care what I'm getting. I'll never care about what another man's pockets. It's not about his pockets, Ken. It's not about his pockets. It's about his productivity. It's not about his pockets, bro. We talking about productivity. That ain't about his pockets. It says, you think Gibbs has 1,000 rush yards or 1,000 receiving if they use him in the pass game like they're talking about? Absolutely. Absolutely. Cleveland signed him to that contract. Lions obligations ends in 2024. Did it? Did it? Ken, that's false. When you trade for someone, you inherit their contract. And if that was the case, Zadarius Smith wouldn't have been cut. He just wouldn't have been re-signed. So that's false, bro. Come on. I agree with your context 100, but I also remember how Davenport got injured to begin with that you made of Davenport getting his arm purposely chopped after. You know what? Python. Absolutely. And guess what? Marcus Davenport came out and said it was a clean play. So I'm listening to him. He didn't want to play football. He came out and said it was a clean play. So I'm going with him. He didn't believe it was a dirty play. Once he said that, I said, oh, okay. I thought it was, but I don't play football. So, I listened to him. Guaranteed money ends. He was still under contract, though, is what I'm saying. He was still under contract. He had to be released, which means the Lions owed him something. They owed him something. They should have kept him and paid him just out of respect for helping them have such a great season. Okay, so Alex Anzalone guaranteed money. He didn't have any guaranteed money, but he still had a contract. So I don't know, Ken. I mean, you know what I'm saying? I don't know if you're looking at it the right way. I'm simply looking at it that there was some time that Zadarius Smith was supposed to be on our team. And I've never seen, and maybe it has happened, I've never seen a person trade for another person, an NFL team trade for a person who was still under contract, and then because there was no guaranteed money, they didn't re-sign him or they cut him. You know what I'm saying? They should have kept Facts That Pat. All in all, Z will be here by next week. I hope so. Because you can't bank on a guy that's never healthy, right? You can't put any faith in him. So I hope you're right, because I want to see him and Hutch on the field at the same time. I truly do. So those are my thoughts, man, on, I don't know. I feel like that the more Brad talks, and if it's something that Zadarius doesn't want to hear or he doesn't agree with, I don't know, man. I feel like he goes somewhere else. I think the longer this draws out, the more realistic he could go somewhere else. I don't know. Could he go to the Bears? Wouldn't that be something? Wouldn't that be something? So, but I hope you're right, though. I hope he does wind up on the team next week. Or could it be, you think he's trying to miss the whole preseason? I mean, because camp, when does camp officially end? Is it like the 21st? It's like 2 weeks, I think. So, I don't know, man. Zadarius will be back. If we don't get Clowney, Zadarius or Judon, it would be a serious mistake. What if the Lions could pull off two of those guys? I mean, you know what? Let's make one more segment. Why don't the Detroit Lions, why doesn't Brad Holmes put the same type of resources into the defensive line, specifically the edge rusher position, that he puts into the secondary? This past week, we signed a bunch of secondary players. We also lost Ennis Rakestraw for an unknown amount of time. Dan Campbell says it could be a while. Terrion Arnold made it seem like it could be season ending, but this is all speculation. But we continue, and we've done that since Brad Holmes has got here. Wouldn't it be something? Why hasn't he done that on specifically like the defensive line? He'll get one piece here, he'll get a piece there, but I don't know if he's gone hard on the D-line. I mean, we went Josh Pasco. I think year one was Aleem McNeil and Levi. Then it was Aiden and Josh. Then year three, I don't recall who it was in year three. Year four, it wasn't anyone. And then year five, we went Tyleek Williams. So wouldn't it be something if the Lions could pull off a Judon and a Smith? That would be something, man. I'm gonna keep it. I mean, if we were to do that, I would feel supremely confident in our chances if that were to happen. Because to me, it would be very little drop off in. You've got Marcus Davenport when healthy. You've got Hutch. We know what kind of dog he is. You got Zadarius Smith. You got Matthew Judon. I think that the Detroit Lions could have one of the best D-lines in the league if they were to bring in both those guys. But whether it was Clowney, if they were to bring two out of those three in, I think we could go probably, I'm going to say top five, man. For real. You got Hutch back healthy, Tyleek, DJ Reader. You've got a what if Marcus Davenport. You've got Ahmed Hassanin. I forgot about him. You've got, after what happened last year, can we truly say that the Lions, like there's too much depth? We can't say that. Look at what's happening in the cornerback room right now. So we can't say that at all. Look at what happened to our D-line last year. Josh Pascal out. Levi gone for the year, right? Aleem McNeil coming in late. Broderick Martin cut. Soon to be. So I wouldn't be mad. I wouldn't be mad at all. That'll make me feel a whole lot different. Bench Davenport, crybaby self, and preserve him for the playoffs. Says, yeah, man, get Z and Judon. That would be nice. Judon is still a monster, even though he's old. Hey, look, they just say he's younger than Zadarius. He's younger. Matthew Judon is younger than Zadarius Smith. To Brad's defense, he hasn't backed up the Brinks truck for any offensive free agent to my knowledge. He pays his own. So a free agent that he hasn't drafted, I think you're right. I think you're right. The closest would be Jared Goff. That would be it. Because he would have been a free agent this year. Then can y'all believe that? Can y'all believe that? Jared Goff would have been a free. That would have been something. Jared Goff would have been a free agent this offseason. Wow, that's crazy. But yeah, I think you're right. I think you're right. Says I didn't hear. So yeah, let me know. Let me know what you think. I feel like I wish that we would, because you could probably get Zadarius and Judon for under $10 million. And if you really feeling frisky, you could sign Judon to like a 2-year deal. You know what I mean? And Zadarius to 1. You could do that. You could do that. Because next year, think about this. And this is why this might not be a bad idea, right? Next year, who's gone? Who could be gone? Josh Pascal, no contract. Levi, no contract. Marcus Davenport, no contract. All of these guys, 2 of them have 1-year deals. 1 of them have 1 year left. So would it be too much if Brad Holmes was to somehow sign Clowney, Smith, or Judon? Smith is for sure. So either Judon or Clowney. Which one you signing? You signing Matthew Judon, like the rushing linebacker, or are you signing Jadeveon Clowney? I think you got to go with Judon. I think Judon is probably a little bit better of a fit. But let me know your thoughts down below. I didn't hear that Davenport called that a clean play. I certainly agree. Yes. So Python, he did an interview. It was shortly after he did an interview with the Detroit Lions media, and he said it was a clean play because it looked dirty, but he said it was a clean play. So I don't remember what media session it was on, but he definitely said it was. Judon and Za'Darius are both 32. That's crazy. I thought he was younger than that. But yeah, I mean, if you call one old, you got to call both old, bro. You got to call them both old. But yeah, man. So we are back, full effect. You guys know the news now. We've been planning this for a while. He just kind of been waiting on me. So we went on and made it official today. So Motor City Cats is going to join the team. He's going to be doing right now one show a week. It's probably going to be on, I don't know what day it's going to be on yet, so don't mark my words on that. But we are excited to be in business together. And I'll just say this. Nah, you know what? I don't want to get messy. I don't want to get messy today. Because soon, like, my numbers going to talk for themselves. Anyway, I will catch y'all on Friday. Don't forget, Detroit Lions Weekly is tomorrow on Lions Syndicate. We will be live on Friday on Lions Syndicate for the show or the stream. I'm trying to, this year, man, I don't care. I'm bringing in the sound. I don't care. Unless YouTube cuts my stream off, I'm bringing in the sound. I didn't know YouTube has been shadow banning a lot of creators, and I don't even care anymore. It kind of sucks because I built up to get to this point. You know, I would like to enjoy live streams as well, but for some reason they don't show mine. So it is what it. But I mean, do I care? Yes. Is it a big deal? Not anymore, because this is where it's at. All right. I will see you guys on Friday soon, depending on my schedule. This show could be very well every day, and we're going to go beyond just the Lions. We're going to go beyond. We might get a Tigers guy eventually. We might get a Pistons guy eventually, right? So we're going to go beyond the Lions. I will catch y'all on Friday.
And I'm pissing off the neighbors. Whether homegrown or imported, we feeling shorted, cause we waiting on our paper. So next time when they ask you where you from, you gon' say Detroit City, where we get back on our feet. Next time when they ask you where you from, you gon' say Detroit City when we get back on our feet. Yeah, you don't know about the D, you don't know about the streets, cause when you're in the Motor City, nothing is as pretty as the hustle. You don't know about the D, you don't know about the streets, cause when you're in the Motor City, everything ain't pretty but it's love though. Next time when they ask you where you from, you gon' say Detroit City where we get back on our feet. Next time when they ask you where you from, you gon' say Detroit City when we get back on our feet.